name is Samantha. I make ASMR, and tonight I'm going to be talking about AEW Dynamite, their first episode on TBS. So as always, I've taken some notes. So I'm going to be looking down a little bit just to make sure that I get everything. And I'm going to light a candle just before we start. This one is strawberry shortcake. It smells so good. Like this. I don't like a lot of candles because I just don't really like a lot of their scents. I'm very much a citrus kind of scent, and they don't do a lot of those in candles. But this one, even though it is like very vanilla heavy, it just smells so good. It's fantastic. Highly recommend. So I'm going to set this over here just so that it doesn't get in the way. If you haven't watched one of my AEW reviews before, welcome. I tend to focus on storyline and outfits, so if you're looking for a real professional breakdown move by move, this is not the place. I apologize. Let's see if I can light this without... There we go. And I will let that sit. I'm just going to throw this out behind me. And try and let this settle a little bit. This is the first time I've done my hair like this. I kind of like it, I think. So, we're going to start with our first match of the night. And that was Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Adam Page in their rematch, essentially, from their 60-minute time limit finish. So I'll start with the first little bit of background, because I honestly do feel like Hangman could have absolutely won that first match that they had. I wouldn't have been mad about it. I don't think that a lot of people would have been disappointed. I think that he deserved the win. He does end up getting in this one without having to go to the judges, which is wonderful. Fantastic. So that is very exciting. So let's start with the outfits. Bryan is in his usual attire, which I do like. I just wasn't as notable. Hangman brought back the sunset tights, which I love. Yes, he wore those cowboy ones though last week, and I also love those. So that is not a hit on it. Justin Roberts is in a fully pinstripe suit. So what a look. What a choice. Amazing. Love that. So glad that he's happy. So we go to the actual match, and the judges that they introduce don't end up mattering, which is fine. It just did make me laugh because they would cut to them and they would be like, "Oh, they're really writing things down," and then it was like, "Oh," and that didn't quite matter. So it did make me giggle. It lasts about half an hour because I do try and get my timestamps, especially when I watch the women's matches. We will get to that. Hangman bleeds. Then Bryan starts bleeding, or it's a mixture of Hangman's blood. Hangman does do the jumping jacks that Bryan's been doing, which did make me laugh. I did laugh for that. fantastic. And then Hangman ends up winning with the buckshot lariat, which is great. And I think it ended up being very successful in what it was trying to accomplish. I just don't know. I really liked that they wrestled for 60 minutes. Like, I thought that was super cool. And, like, I watched the whole 60, and I was watching with my friend who, like, has just not, like, recently gotten in, but, like, pretty recently gotten into wrestling. Like, maybe, like, a month or two ago. And she was like, this is so cool. I was like, this is so cool. They wrestled for an hour. Like, that's insane. So I do think that a lot of people expected this one to go an hour, and I'm glad that it didn't. I like that there was a decisive victory for Hangman to build his championship on, you know? Like, I just wish that they'd given him a few more wins before he had to face Bryan Danielson, because, and then maybe had kind of like that Iron Man match, because I just felt like he's earned, you know, some kind of pretty decisive, quick victories, you know? So, out of the next one, the Acclaimed does a promo, which is not, like, super, they did their usual thing, but it did make me laugh, because they said that they are going to handle this the way their generation does, which is with a viral video. And I was like, what are you gonna make, a Vine? You're both over 30. Like, it's not like a criticism. It's just, I'm genuinely a little like, what's the plan here, guys? Like, it just made me laugh, because it's not like it's coming from like 20-year-olds. It's coming from two people who are in their 30s, which made me giggle. But I'm sure that it will be great. It just made me giggle. So then we have an MJF match, Bright Light. And he is against Captain Shawn Dean, which, poor Captain Shawn Dean. He already had to face Wardlow. He's just, you know, he's having a tough time. MJF comes out shiny as ever, but he has new custom pads, which I really liked. The elbow pad said MJF, and then the knee pad said better than you, and I liked it. They were in the Burberry print, and they were in a nice font. So yeah, that one, I did really like that. I always like Captain Shawn Dean's outfit. It just looked pretty similar. So before they can start the match, this is gonna be like a little bit of a like, yeah, follow me here. Okay, so before they start the match, they're both in the ring, and CM Punk runs out. And CM Punk goes into the ring, so of course MJF runs out because he's not gonna fight him. And he always runs like this, but he runs in a way that just like makes me giggle. I don't know what it is. If it's like too long of stride, I don't know. His running always makes me laugh. And so CM Punk is in the ring with Captain Shawn Dean. So they're standing there, and then all of a sudden, CM Punk picks up Captain Shawn Dean and hits him with the GTS as the bell rings. And I'm like, wow, that was a really mean thing for CM Punk to do. That feels kind of heelish. And then we get, I don't know, I just don't know enough about wrestling. But they're like, and because he did that, Captain Shawn Dean wins the match against MJF because MJF is disqualified. So I'm just cracking up. That is so freaking funny, because now MJF is 0-1 because the records have reset for the new year. So he has a losing record. And the only reason they took this match was to try and build up his win record so that he can qualify for a championship. I was laughing so hard. So then, of course, Tony Schiavone is so excited that he has a losing record that his voice cracks, which was so funny. Like, I know that I don't know if that's like mean to like point out that his voice cracked, but I think that he did it on purpose because it just worked so well. It was fantastic. So of course, then like MJF gets on the mic, and then CM Punk gets on the mic, and CM Punk talks about how if he really wants to go to WWE so bad, then he just should, and that they'll throw him out as soon as he, like, does a Mania or whatever. He'll be out just as quick. And so MJF is like, fine, if you want the match so bad, then you'll have the match. And before he says it, I turn to my dad and I go, but it's against Wardlow. And then MJF goes, against Wardlow. And I'm like, who could have guessed? Me. I'm so smart. So good at reading context clues, understanding people's character development. Amazing. Who is she? So then Jericho comes out to talk. Well, of course, I think it's like after a commercial break, like they've both left. This is a new segment. So Jericho comes out to talk because it's his first time on TBS since like 99 with WCW, which is cool. Very impressive achievement. Jericho is a brunette. His hair is darker. He says that he was not here to save. He didn't come out last week to save Eddie. He came out last week so that he could beat up 2.0, which is fair. I think that they're still trying to figure out if people will get on board with Jericho and Eddie, because I kind of don't want them to be friends. And from the stuff that I've seen online, it could just be the people that I follow, because I do feel like they are mostly my age. I can only say how it plays for people who are around my demographics, you know? But it does seem like they might not. I don't know. I would just rather see them fight, I guess. Somebody did mention that they would like a Daniel Garcia, Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho three-way match, which I wouldn't mind, but I do like seeing Eddie with Santana and Ortiz. I like seeing that on Rampage tonight when they fought 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. So, you know, I don't know. I'm willing to let them take me to where they would like it to go, but I do kind of have some opinions already, if that makes sense. So, anyway, he comes out to say that he was not there to save Eddie, he was just there to beat up 2.0. So, of course, out come 2.0 in matching dark wash jeans and supportive black boots. And Jericho, of course, calls them a squarehead and a pinhead, obviously. So they say, so Jericho gets Floyd his bat and is about to start beating them up when, of course, Daniel Garcia comes from behind to distract, and then they just end up fighting, and then Santana Ortiz and Eddie come out to then make the save for Jericho, or to also just beat up 2.0, and then they announce the 3-on-3 tag team match that happened tonight on Rampage. So, next segment. I think I should do a little. So, then we have Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly do their promo, and they state that they are a united front despite Kyle technically, I think he punched Adam. Punch or kick. I think it was a punch. Last week, and that they are united with the Young Bucks and they are going to be so strong. And then Adam Cole says that he's going to fight Jake Atlas, which, amazing. I loved it, except for the fact that Jake Atlas, poor Jake Atlas, seriously injured his knee I hope MRI comes back okay, and I wish him a speedy recovery because he was very quickly becoming a new favorite for me. This taping seems to be a little cursed, and we will get into that later. But so he does have a knee injury, which I was not in love with, but I thought it was a really, really good pairing. I think that Adam Cole does really, really well at acting like so just aghast and angry that you would dare hit him or like say something mean to him, which I think is very funny and works very well for him, you know? So, this is gonna turn off. Okay, let's see if my camera will adjust. There we go. I got a new phone, so the camera is a little bit better. So, I'm just going to put these. Do you mind if I touch your face? I'm just going to do a quick facial examination. Fantastic. If you have a latex allergy, you don't have to worry. These are non-latex gloves. So, we're going to go on to the next segment here. Alright. So, have you close your eyes for me? Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next segment here. And this is going to be Warlord versus Antonio Zombono. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. I did not spell it out phonetically. And I might have forgotten a letter, you know. Sometimes things move a little fast. So, this goes about how you would expect every other match to go, but I did want to highlight the outfit here because Wardlow is, of course, wearing some crushed velvet king standard. But I just noticed, like last week, that he has Max's lions, like on the lower part. And I didn't notice that before. And what a wonderful inclusion, you know? Like, I was like, wow, that really brands them together. So, of course, Sean Spears comes out with them. Antonio's outfit, I like. The placement of the red dots does make me laugh like a little bit because on the front it's like right where his chunk is, and on the back it's like it's good where it is, but if it was lower it might look like a period stain. That's probably like a little bit yucky, but it's just what I thought. But the placement right now is good, you know, like it doesn't look like that now, but if it were lower it would. It's also good that it's a pretty tight circle. So they have a wonderful match that starts. Antonio's been watching, so he jumps outside of the ring first because he knows that Warlord is just going to pick him up and drop him down. So he's on the outside, but while the ref is talking to Wardlow, Sean Spears picks him up and throws him onto the ground and then throws him back into the ring. And you're like, that wasn't great. I bet that Wardlow's a little mad about that. And he seems like a little bit mad, but not mad enough to not powerbomb him 4 times. So he then powerbombs him 4 times and he wins, obviously. And then we have a little promo about Layla Hirsch, and we are finally getting heel Layla. And I want her to be on Team Taz so bad. Like, I hope that that's what this is leading to, because I oh my gosh, she would just be so good on it. Like, I want an intergender tag match where her and Hobbs are on the same team. Like, what a dream. Anyway, that's about all that I have to say about it. It's just a little recap from her and Chris's little kerfuffle, falling out, whatever you may call it. So, next we have the Jade versus Ruby TBS title finale match. So, I'm going to preface this by saying that I really wanted Thunder Rosa to win. Like, I really did. Or Nyla. Neither of whom are here. Or Chris, obviously. Chris Statlander Stan. So, it wasn't that I dislike either of them, obviously, because I think they're both great and wonderful performers, but I just wanted other people to win more. So I'll get into that once I talk about how the match ends. You probably already know because this video is coming out, filming this at like 2 a.m. on Saturday. So Jade comes out in just the absolute best outfit. She comes out of Storm, but she's still using her like triangles. I loved it. I loved when she had a cape. She did the whole thing. I love the cape so much. Like, honestly, absolutely amazing. She's so, I love like her whole look. Like, I love the triangles. Last week when she wore the candy cane gear, like, I was just like over the moon. It was amazing. So, I love this Storm, and then I love that she just like throws it at Mark, and he like looks like he's gonna pick it up, but it might have like fallen off the stage because he just like looks and then doesn't, which is so funny. He is in a customized hashtag Jade brand jacket, which I love that he picked a theme. Amazing. Got what he needed to have it done. And then Ruby comes out in what I at first was like, oh, the jacket's a little underwhelming. It's white and it has neon green, and then she turns around and it's a white with green jacket that on the back has Jade's face on it. And she's crossed. It was good. I would recommend watching this match. Obviously, it's a title match, and looking at their outfits because I just think that they both really killed it with the outfitting. So, they do pan to Jade's daughter in the audience. It's so sweet. Her husband's there too. Oh, so they get to see Jade win. Spoiler. That's what this video kind of is. So they get to see Jade win, which is wonderful, and she like carries her daughter up, which is so cute. I absolutely love that. This match does last only about 10 minutes, which for a championship, it's the first time being the championship, and it's your first time on a network named after the championship. I think that the match could have been longer. I'm pretty sure that I did that right. Maybe it lasted 20, but I'm pretty sure that it was 10 because I checked a few times. So that was a little disappointing. I just think that they could have been longer. So I want to say this in a way that, like, I love how Jade talks. I love how Jade looks. I think that she does deserve to be a champion. She just moves a little slow for my taste, which is just my personal thing. I just think that she's a little slow. and I do have some reservations about how she might work with a young talent who's not meant just to be enhancement talent. Like, they're not meant just to show off how strong she is. I don't know how she would do with really putting over somebody who doesn't have that much experience. But of the two, I do think that the TBS Championship was kind of designed for her to win. So I do get that and appreciate that. So that is about all that I have to say about that. My hands are so clammy. These are sticky. So, next card. Yes, next card. So then we have a little promo from Serena Deeb, which I do love. I'm just going to start tracing on your face and tapping your face with this little eraser. So, I love Serena Deeb. She is just amazing. I'm so excited to see her and Sheeta fight again. I really love both of them, but I am such a huge Sheeta fan, but I really am coming to love Serena. And then we have Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman. I don't really have that much to say about the match, but I do have a big complaint with the outfits. Malachi looks amazing. I love when he brings out the big horns. I do love when he brings out the big horns. Fantastic. Julia Hart comes out and she has had the black mist sprayed on her. I have to use a full hand movement for this. She's had the black mist sprayed on her, and she's wearing just a black regular eye patch. A black regular eye patch. The same one that Pac is wearing. This is Julia Hart's wardrobe. This is Pac's wardrobe. They should not overlap at all. Why would she not come out with an eye patch that has a heart painted on it, or better yet, a heart-shaped eye patch? This bothered me. I don't know why it did. I know that it's supposed to be somber, but her name's Julia Hart. Why did she come out with this cute little heart-shaped pink eye patch? I'm gonna draw it because I don't think that the pattern would be that hard to make, I think that I could make it work. And then, so see how this is flat? So this is how you make the curve of the eye patch. And then you bend it like that. So then when it goes on the eye, it goes out like an eye patch. The match was great. I love the match. I liked Brian's hair too. He put it in a ponytail, and I assumed had to bobby pin some of the mullet down. It looked very nice. So of course, Malachi wins, and then Julia comes in to comfort Brian in her plain black eye patch, which I just can't get over. Anyway, it's not this big of a deal, and I'm the only one I think that cares about this, but I was just kind of guys, y'all. Anyway, if Julia Hart sees this, I'll make you an eye patch, whatever color you want. So Malachi wins, and he goes to beat up Julia, but then the Lucha Brothers come out to save him with Alex. So it's Ray, Penta, and Alex. So Pac is noticeably missing. So then all the lights go out, and you're like, oh, this is when is going to show up. And then the lights come back on and they switch spots. And it was like, not that that was anticlimactic, because I think that builds to the story, and I tend to just trust Malachi and what he thinks is right for his character. But Wyatt Pat come out, like, I'm sure that he's like doing something in real life, but it just felt like kind of a weird save if nothing was going to happen. Like, they didn't beat up Malachi, and then they just like switched spots. Anyway, so that's the end of that. I did like the match though. I like whenever the varsity blondes get to come out. I love the Lucha Brothers. We will get to the final match when we get there. I'm a little bit upset about it. So then we have Ruby Soho's interview, which is interrupted by Britt Baker, obviously, and that led into Rampage's match with Ruby and Riho versus Britt and Jamie, which Ruby and Riho won. Wonderful. And then we have an Aaron Solo versus Hook promo. Fantastic. Send Hook. You love to see it. The match was great. What more could you want? They're sending Hook. It's all that I need to get into the stands. So then we have the Lucha Brothers versus Jurassic Express. So I'm going to start with outfits. Phoenix is in a purple and yellow mask. Absolutely beautiful. And he's wearing this like shiny aluminum foil jacket that he takes off almost immediately. But I like the effort. But the mask is gorgeous, and Penta's in his Joker gear again, as he should be. I love that gear. And is appropriate because for any time, there's good gear anyway. And then Jurassic Express is in their usual stuff. So I really like Jurassic Express, truly. And I know that I've been saying that a lot this video, but there's just not a lot of people in AEW that I dislike. But I do really like Jurassic Express. Like, I love like this, and like I'm having a great time. When I went to the first Rampage taping, I had like the best time. My mom loves them. Like, my one friend loves Luchasaurus. She's like, I'm gonna be Luchasaurus. And I'm like, you are 5'5". But I believe in you. So I really do like them. I like their bonds. I miss Marco, but that's okay. He's vibing, you know, doing what he needs to. And I would like them to have the tag team championship. I just don't want them to beat the Lucha Brothers for it, because no matter how much I like Jurassic Express, I like the Lucha Brothers more. So that was a little disappointing. I like got mad. I was like, I have to go to bed. I like told my mom, I was like, I have to go to bed. I'm mad, which is a little ridiculous, you know, just like a little bit. I'm 21. So I was a little disappointed, but that's okay. Phoenix appears to be okay, which is great, because his arm was like backwards, so that is a little scary. And the match was good. Like, I enjoyed the match. I just wish that they didn't lose. But I think that is going to be the majority of this video. I thought it was very cute when they won and Christian kissed forth on the head, and then all the tag teams started emptying out. I think that was wonderful foreshadowing. I just really like the Lucha Brothers and would like them to be champions forever. And I think that they were supposed to be the heels in this match because of what happened last week with the tag team matches. But they never will be, and honestly, they should have been tag team. So that's not gonna work for me either. Anyway, so that is it for this review. This one is a little bit closer. This upload is a little bit closer between the last one and this one, so excited about that. I am going to be moving to New York in a few days for my semester abroad. So it might be a little bit crazy. School will be starting back up again, and I do have a little bit of trouble making these while I'm in school, and I'm also going to be doing an internship. So we'll see if I can still get these. I really do like making these, so I hope to see you again very soon. I hope that this video watch you some rest, some relaxation, and some tingles, and we'll see you